Hello. Hi. Hi. My name is Seckswrecks. You may remember me from such speedruns as Day 1 Celeste or Celeste Classic. Um, but here we're going to play Astra in the new Constellation. I don't really have a lot to say, and there's going to be like 15 minutes, so I'm just going to get started while I'm sitting here. So if we're ready on the timer, I'm going to get going in 3, 2, 1, go. So Astra is this little starlet, and she doesn't really fit in at home. So she wants to find herself a new constellation of her own, where she can slide and jump and glide and be the happiest little starlet she can be. So gameplay-wise, we're talking about a pretty basic 2D platformer here. Got a little jump, you got a slide, you can cancel it with a jump and go flying. Probably at least a little familiar to Celeste runners. And then, they pretend they're playing a modern Zelda game and you got a glide going on. So the levels are pretty short, pretty sweet. And that's actually because this game is made in Pico 8, which, believe it or not, is not just a cute nickname for the 8-bit Easter egg they made for people to play in Bingo. It is a fantasy console, which is essentially a set of rules and an emulator for a computer system that never existed, so that developers can make weird little games with interesting limitations on them. One of which being the size of the map and the sprite sheet, as well as the amount of code you can have. So this game is actually split up into 16 different cartridges, which is the maximum you can have for a multi-cart Pico 8 game, making this one of the most, if not the most, expansive Pico 8 games available. So now we're moving on to level...
The movement in this game looks really cool.
This game is really cool, and I am definitely not biased in saying that, being the person who published this video game. I did not make it, I just published it. But I think you should go on Steam and buy it, because, it gives me money. And also it's a good video game. So here we got springs. They do spring stuff. If you do a plummet into the spring, you get that big bounce. If you hold a float into a spring, you get a little itty-bitty bounce. That comes in handy a little bit later. So as you can see, there's a bunch of stardust that I'm ignoring collecting because, well, 100% is longer, and I'm not very good at the game, and I didn't want to play for that long. It's a cool category. There's about 1,000 stardust. And by about 1,000, I mean exactly 1,000. Here we've got these falling rocks. They fall on your head and kill you. I did that as a demonstration to show what happens if one of them falls on your head. It definitely wasn't a mistake.
Yeah, it's just so the audience could know.
Exactly. So are there any messages to read out while we're just cruising through these levels here?
At the current time, I would like to take this moment and talk about what the what the PCRF does in the or for children in the Middle East. I'm going to talk about their treatment abroad program. The PCRF is the main nonprofit arranging free medical care for sick and injured children from the Middle East and outside their homeland, regardless of religion or politics. Since 1992, they have sent over 2,000 children from the Middle East to hospitals in the USA, Europe, and Asia for free care that they cannot access at home. And again, for more information about the PCRF's work, you can go find them at pcrf.net.
All right, yeah, that is a great cause, and I'm very happy to be supporting it. So here you can see some of the Super Mario World inspirations coming through with these Layer 2 shenanigans. And you might have noticed me bonk into a wall with a slide and then jump over it. That is actually abusing essentially coyote time, whereby you you get that little bit of height from the bonk, and the game still lets you jump because you left the ground only a few frames ago, and it allows you to get just enough height to get over some walls that you normally wouldn't be able to jump over. That one is actually intentionally left in by the developer because, believe it or not, this game was made by a speedrunner.
It definitely looks like it plays like a speedrunner made this game.
Oh yeah. There is a really nice in-game timer built in that I've disabled just to clear up on the visual clutter going on for the marathon. You can practice any of the 15 individual levels. It keeps track of your best times in every level.
It's basically Celeste.
It is essentially Celeste, yeah. So you can see the orbits around the moving objects. That's actually one of the accessibility options, is to show where moving objects are going to be going. I have that turned on just to kind of help me out a little bit. I also have screen shake turned off because I've verified enough Celeste runs to know that no one wants to see that.
This is a PSA. Please turn screen shake off. Thank you.
Yeah, screen shake and photosensitivity mode off on your Celeste submissions, please. So here we have the star blocks, which, as you can see, will trigger or toggle their state when you do a ground pound. Kind of similar to the switch blocks in Mario. I think they started in Galaxy. I don't remember, but they change when you jump. Not quite the same, but same idea.
We got time for a short donation?
Of course.
I have a $25 donation from Wojo and Rui, and they say, thank you for having us in the event, and best of luck to all of the other runners tonight. Long live Archie! Thank you so much for the very generous donation, you two, and it was a pleasure having you guys on.
Long live Archie, indeed. So here we've got a vertical level. And we're doing a lot of ground pounding. You line it up just right, you can ground pound right through, pass through blocks like that.
I love the art style for this game. It's really cute.
Yeah, it's very expressive for the limitations you get in Pico 8. So in Pico 8, you can only do 8x8 square sprites. So people who are counting at home will note that Astra's sprite is bigger than that. So it's actually 4 sprites working in unison. I believe Sonic on the Genesis did the same sort of deal to get around hardware limitations. So it is really pushing the Pico 8 platform to its limits.
I'll be honest with you, I can't even wrap my head around that. That's crazy to me. I love seeing what people can do, like, with extremely limited, like, resources. Some extraordinarily creative things come out of that.
Exactly. That's the whole idea behind Pico 8, is that those limitations can breed different kinds of creativity and help you create things in a fast turnaround, like the original Celeste Classic, which was made in about 3 days by Maddie and Noel. Yeah, and all the music is also just right inside Pico 8. It's got you can make the sounds for the synth and all the little sound effects, and you sequence them right in there with a music tracker. It's got I think 4 tracks and 32 patterns or something like that. The music stuff goes above my head, so I don't remember how it all works, but it's very cool that when you have the full like paid Pico 8 platform, you essentially the whole dev environment for making one of these games is just right there.
I love how the level tries to like mess with your vision by just, turning down the saturation of all the colors.
Yes, the lights out on this lighthouse level is very, It used to be a little more brutal. There was no difference between the on and off star blocks when the lights were out in earlier versions of the game. Uh, our 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 testers, me, not just me. There's some other people you'll see in the credits. Um, Definitely gave the feedback that that was just a little bit too cruel.
It
Here
looks
you can
tough
see,
as is. Oh, sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
Here you can see if you ground pound into these horizontal or angular springs, you really go flying.
Woo! Oh my god, look at all that speed!
And these levels just go by in a flash, except this one, which I will die on over and over and over and over again, because there's something about this level.
Unless, what if you just win it?
Yeah, what if? There's always that possibility. When it comes to marathons, you practice so hard that you're near the top of your game, so the PB is always in sight. Actually, this morning, before I was like even awake, and I was like, I haven't warmed up at all. I'm just doing one run. I don't need to turn on the recording, and I did actually get a PB earlier that I don't have a video of.
Oh no! I know that feeling way too well. That's tragic!
Yeah, the practice room PB is very real, even when the practice room is also your living room.
It doesn't matter. It's a practice room. We have a $10 donation from Jason, donating twice the amount of what the game cost. I had a lot of fun playing it, and good luck on the run. Thank you very much, Jason, and your donation is extraordinarily appreciated.
So in the background there, that's a black hole. Definitely a black hole and nothing else. We'll be seeing that again in the next level. And as Jason did point out, it is actually, it's not even a full $5. It is $4.89, which is $4.20 plus 69 cents. For those of you still doing math from the Equaline run earlier.
Not me. That run hurt my brain. I can't.
Yeah, I can't. There's like another game I really like called Super Algebra that's kind of the same vein, where you're just kind of doing math really fast. It's like I can't do it fast, and I really would love to see someone play that game really fast as well, because it is just always impressive when people who can math fast in their brains.
I don't think I'd be able to do that fast, but that does sound like a great time, actually. I was gonna say that this is like Farewell for real, but not anymore. The black hole wasn't trying to eat you. Oh my.
Yeah, the not quite Farewell. So here we are finally already onto level 15, the edge of the galaxy. Ready to wrap things up with one last... It doesn't quite have every mechanic in it, because of those space limitations for code in the game don't quite let you have them all in one level. But it is sort of a nice little wrap-up of everything we've done so far. On some of the more tricky, not quite puzzles, but you have to think carefully about which blocks are active at what time, and it limits the spaces where you can ground pound to switch them. Some neat little stuff going on there.
This looks really tricky, and even if all the mechanics can't fit in here, it's still amazing what I'm seeing here. This is crazy.
And coming up right on the end, and time.
Let's go!
So yeah, that was wow. That was really quick. Like I said, I turned off the display timer, so I'm running timer blind. Put it in Celeste terms. Excited to see how this goes. So yeah, you can see there's Travis Antosh, Rare Like a Unicorn is the developer, published by Lock in 7 Digital. That's me. You might know Author Blues, Rythan, UK O'Berry Iwa. Hey, special thanks Seckswrecks. I know that person. Hey,
Wait, no
Mulberry, I know
way!
him
I know that
too.
guy. That was actually a lot of fun. That was so cool.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that wasn't quite a PB pace run, I figured, but still pretty good. Less than 20 deaths. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I hope everyone has a good rest of the weekend for Archiethon. It's I started playing Celeste Classic in 2015 and I couldn't bribe people to play it, and now there are over 7,000 Celeste runners. So seeing this community grow has been such a treat, and it's great to still be a part of it.
Absolutely incredible. Do you have anyone you want to shout out before we sign off?
Um, no, not really. Shout out to Midwest Speedfest. That's the speedrun marathon I put on, and this event is using our tracker, my tracker. So, I mean, it's not my tracker. I don't maintain it, but they're cool. We do speedrun marathons here in Minnesota. We did it before SGQ moved here. Thank you very much. And they're a lot of fun. So I think people should check that out and look into hosting speedrun events locally at conventions themselves, because it's really fun, and I think more people should do it.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for that awesome run. That was a lot of fun. And with that, that will conclude our run for the Astra in the new Constellation any percent run. A huge thank you to Seckswrecks for putting on a really cool show. That was actually an awesome game. Honestly, I'm gonna go buy that. That was cool.